Hey, good people, I'm your life coach, Shanese Powell, and I noticed that there are way too many individuals either unfamiliar with coaching, unable to afford it, or they're just not aware of how much it can do for their lives. This is why I started the What I Need podcast. The WIN podcast creates a space for people to access, what they need. We explore mental health by bringing awareness to our good and bad habits that help us or hurt us. We're just here to have those kinds of conversations that you need, they need, and what I need. Let's win together, good people. All right, Dr. Sade, how are you?
How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you doing today?
I'm fine, thank you. I can't complain.
Honestly, you can't complain. I always hear people say that I can't complain, but I feel led to ask you, what do you mean by that? Why do you feel like you can't complain?
I can't complain because I look around me and I'm grateful, That's why I can't complain, because some people are dead right now. I know some of my age, my colleagues are gone. Some are in the hospital right now. Some have hands, they can't even feed themselves. I'm talking about not an older person. I'm talking about my age group. So when you look at life and you see different things going on, and people in different stages, and you can breathe, you have life, you can eat, you can drink, you can drive, you go in and out. You just can't complain, but to thank God. So that's why I can't complain. Complain. Even the word of God tells me that do not complain. You not worry about anything, meaning don't complain. You don't worry about anything. Not that you don't have concerns, but don't worry. They're two different things.
Because I really feel like, and the Bible says this too, worrying doesn't help the situation. It doesn't add a single second or minute to your life. So if it's going to actually take from you and give you nothing to gain, you might as well not even indulge in that kind of activity of worrying.
That's
a
right.
waste of time.
That's right. And you grow older too. That's what it adds to you. Worries, you just be like that rocking chair. You're going nowhere.
Exactly.
Just back and forth. You can't fix anything by being worried. You can't even hear from God by being worried.
You can't.
So you can't, because your mind is too worked up that you are just trying to look for how the enemy puts that there to keep you on your feet. So just to keep you on your toes, running back and forth. You can.
Yeah, there we go. I love how this podcast is starting already. This is right up my alley, this gratitude talk. All right. So before we step into what you do, and before I ask you these questions that you're gonna answer in such a way that it'll feed us for sure, I want to know who Dr. Sade Masha is. Who are you, the person, Dr. Sade?
I am, first of all, a child of the living God.
There we go.
A child of the living God. I cannot shy away from that. I'm a Christian counselor, and I'm a co-pastor with my husband. Also a chaplain. I wear many hats, but I thank God that I just flow in whichever direction He wants me to. But I'm just make myself available to God. But mostly do counseling, marriage counseling, families, young adults, whatever issue. I like to sit down and we work on it.
Yeah, so that's a big part of who you are, is counselor, because it's actually what you love to do. Yes.
That's right.
There we go. And that's a consistent thing I'm noticing about people that I talk with on here. When I ask them who they are, they go right into what they do. And I try to encourage people to not tell me what they do when talking about who they are. But the reason why my guests keep telling me what they do to describe who they are is because what they do is what they love. It's their passion. It's what is in them. It's what they love waking up to doing.
They're one with it.
They're one with it. Exactly. And that's what I absolutely love, because this is making listeners know, hey, your profession you can become one with it. It can be something that you're passionate about. It can be your dream. It can be the thing that you love waking up to do. It can be the thing that when I ask you how you're doing, you just talk about it. And it's not because you are deflecting from the question or you're, ignoring the question, but it's because it's truly a part of who you are. So it's possible, guys. It is possible. I love it. All right. So since we mentioned that you're a counselor and that you are a marriage, the MFT, marriage and family therapist, right? We're gonna delve into that because, oh gosh, everybody from every generation need always tips and suggestions on how to make relationships work, romantic as well as platonic relationships. But the first question I would want to ask is, we just dive right into it. What are signs that your relationship is ready for marriage? So this is for the wonderful folks who are out there dating seriously and who have maybe been in a romantic relationship for years or maybe for a short period of time, but they're really serious about it and they want to take the next step. What are signs that they can look for to say, okay, we are ready for that marriage?
We're looking at two categories of people. First, you're ready for marriage. You've been dating someone and you've gotten to a point that are we engaged and we're talking about marriage, or someone that's just single and looking for someone to marry. So there are two different things. So one, if you are looking for one, I believe is first of all the most important thing is to keep praying. You can, as a Christian counselor, there's nothing I really sit down with people to talk about if I cannot involve the Word of God, because that's our the laws of God is what guides us in making decisions, especially when we are picking a life partner. So having someone or choosing a life partner depends on, what do you have for me, Lord? Who do you have for me, Lord? Where do I? And while you are asking, just focus also on yourself. Look inwardly. Let me prepare myself for my husband to be. And I always take them to the book of Esther, which is a book in the Bible. If anyone listening is a Christian, that before Esther could even be married to a king, there is a time of preparation. There is this is what I need to get myself prepared to be a wife. I'm looking for a husband. I need to dress. I used to tell one of my daughter in the Lord, she's married now, but then she will always put on a pant and just this, what you call this big pen is, and just put on a hat and go out.
Granny pant. Granny panties.
Like a suit pant. I mean, not a suit pant. I'm trying to remember, but it's just this pen that these teenagers and just go about it. And I was like, are you sure you're trying to get married or catch the attention of a man trying to get married? Are you looking? So yeah, I'm looking. I've been looking. I'm looking. I've been searching. And I said, when you keep dressing like this, you're not going to find anyone serious, because you need to kind of take care of yourself. You don't think that, well, I just, this is the way I am and I have to be this way. No, you have to always add value to yourself. It's the book, it's written in the Bible. Every one of us, we need to continue to grow, add value. Okay, I'm this, I need to add more. Okay, I'm looking for a husband. I used to do this. Let me even try and work on my hair here. Let me try and work on my nails. Let me try and work on what I put on. Let me try and work on the way I talk and the way I react. There is always a saying that a bad attitude is like a flat tire. You're going nowhere until it's fixed. So you look at yourself like, oh, you have any bad attitude in me, anything that is going to disqualify me, even in the sight of God. Let me work on those areas. And you just focus on yourself first. That's one thing that I look at. And then you start, praying, and you engage yourself. Social outing. I'm not talking about going to nightclubs, looking for a husband in nightclubs and places like that. But decent outing, learn to take care of yourself, learn to groom yourself, go to decent outing, and believe in God and trust in God that you will meet the right person at at the right time. But don't sit down and say, God will do it at the right time, and just sit down and just don't take care of anything. Just, be lazy about everything and he will do it when it's time. No, we are co-workers. You have to also take time to work on yourself. And if you already have someone that you're dating, someone that you think, oh, we are getting to that, is it time for us to hit that altar? Is it time for us to tie the knots? First of all, you have to seek Christian counseling. You need to, both of us, sit down and say, we need to go for counseling. It doesn't, and a lot of times some guys will say, no, we don't need that there. That is nothing. We've been together for the past, months. What do you need counseling for? They try to discount it and discourage it. Like, it's nothing. What are they going to tell us? They're just going to get our money. They're just going to do this. They're just going to do that. But you don't go through counseling, you are setting yourself up for failure. Because
it's a new thing, like you've never done it before, so you need someone to advise you into this new space that you're stepping into. Even if you were married before, you've never been married to this person yet, so you need to seek the guidance. That makes sense for sure.
Premarital counseling is very, very important, because people can pretend.
Correct.
They can pretend and be all this Mr. or Miss this and everything. But once they get married, they turn into the monster that they really are. And you will think and say, oh my goodness, I never thought I could get to this. I never thought you were like this. I never believed you could done like this. No, but if you have gone to pre-counseling, you would have discovered a lot of things. At least the way that I do it. And with my husband, sometimes we'll sit down, we're going to probe everything that is, and because we also include healing and deliverance, we go through that as well. But it's not just sitting down and you want to just come and talk, sweet talk, and tell, oh, yes, I can do, I'm a good provider, I'm a man that can work, I can do, oh, yes, we understand that. We want to go deeper than that. We want to see what you are really made of. So we go into healing and counseling. Then when you have to give them the data sheet and the checklist. Now tell me everything. I want to know everything from your childhood till now. That's good. We're able to pick some things that this can trigger this can trigger this. And those are the things that we bring up during counseling. And you will see sometimes the man will flare up and they will, oh my goodness. Kind of, oh, what? Oh my goodness. I've never seen him do this before. I said, you've never seen, because you've never gone to that area. You've never touched that area. And nobody can touch that area because it's hidden. It's only the light of Christ that brings it out.
Yes.
So some have stormed out of the counseling room. That's when you know that, okay, you need work to do. Don't rush into that marriage until this is fixed. Or otherwise, just save yourself that trouble.
That's so good, because when you're in a relationship with someone that you like and you want the relationship to work, you're always presenting your best self. So what the premarital counseling does is it pinpoints those things in you that maybe you weren't even aware of, or that you didn't know was still a trigger, and brings it to the forefront, so that your partner can decide, okay, is this a baggage that I'm willing to work with, or is this something that I have to, I'm not willing to work with, and I might have to spend a couple more months ruminating on whether I want to, be married to this or not. And that's really good. I want to say it's very scary to know that people can pretend, and some can do it for a long period of time. Is there an ideal period of time that you would suggest for a couple to just keep dating until the real person start to show up? Right? Because as we say, in the relationship, the partners, they can act and they may not even know they're acting. They're just bringing their best self because they want to impress. But what should it be, like 1 year, 2 years, 6 months before I let that partner show me, okay, he is really like this, or, oh no, he has some cracks? Like, what is there an ideal time period?
I'm telling you, someone can pretend as long as 10 years.
Mm.
I've heard a story. That didn't happen to one, none, but I heard a story of someone, a lady, saying she was with this guy for 9 years. And then they finally decided to marry. It said things were not really going well. They have their, up and they have a child in between, and they were going, this and that. But they, after about 9 years, they decided, well, maybe for our son's sake, let's get married.
Mm-hmm.
For our son's sake, let's get married. Let's this, and then they got married. And what happened? They said they divorced in 60 days. I said, you've been together for 9 years.
9 years.
Divorced in 60 days.
Wow.
Okay. What didn't you see then that you're saying now? So say, well, it was a little rough because we were always, kind of nagging at each other. But we thought that when we get married, we can work this out. I said, that's it. No, you can't do that, because if you can work it out right here, there is nothing that can make it work. You are locking yourself down by getting into a marriage when you struggle during the courtship, and then you think getting married will fix it. Marriage is not a magic. It's not a magic wand or something that things will begin to work instantly when we get married. No, you have to work it out right here before you get into the marriage. And a lot of time, have you heard of ladies that say, oh, I need a man. I'm like, a man, like what? Well, I need a man to take care of my bills. I need a man to, to give me some money. I need a man to give me, I say, you need a man, you don't need a husband. You need someone that you need a playboy. That's what you're looking for. Mm-hmm. Because it depends on what is my motivation for getting married. And this is the reason, because the definition of marriage, the meaning of marriage has been abused. When you don't know the purpose of a thing, there is every tendency that you abuse that. Mm-hmm. So marriage is being abused everywhere now, because people think I'm going to marriage to make me a better person. I go into marriage so that my husband can complete me. I go into marriage so that this can that. Yeah, you go into marriage, is God gives marriage. It's a blessing. It's a gift from God. It's an institution where we go in, we learn a lot of things, but you need to work on yourself before you go into a marriage. You need to, if like I said earlier, if you are someone that is not that cannot be easily pleased, someone that is very critical, someone that cannot even work out conflict amicably. You don't want to rush into a marriage and believe that marriage can fix those impediments. You have to now take care of yourself. Lord, I need you to help me in these areas. Lord, you need to add value to yourself. You need to work on yourself. You need to look inwardly. You are not going there to say, this man is going to help me to. The man can help you change your character, can help you adjust your character, not change it. Oh, you talk too much. Well, okay, this way is better, that way. But your personality, it can help you to change that. You are who you are. But so that is what you need to work on. That is what you need to, before you rush into that marriage. And talking about time for that man to now say, okay, it's time for us to get married, because I've given you so much time. I've studied you enough. I've observed you enough. I've seen everything that I need to know about you. So I believe it's time for us to get married.
Mm-hmm. So what I'm hearing you say a lot is that there's a lot of self-work that goes into a successful marriage. You have to focus on you. What are areas of improvement? And it's not so much that we are changing who we are. You're not changing yourself. You are simply improving on parts of yourself. So you are aware of who you are. You are aware of where your strengths are and where your weaknesses are. And you're working on those weaknesses so that they can become strong. And you're working on your strengths so that they could be even stronger. Is that what you're saying?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Work on your strengths, you get better. Work on your strengths, get better. Working on your weaknesses, get better in every area. And if there is premarital sex, which I do not advise. I don't
Why
counsel,
don't you advise that? Why don't you advise premarital sex?
because first of
Because
all,
people want to explore. They want to know, if I'm going to be tied to this person for the rest of my life, I need to know that I'll be sexually pleased. So why shouldn't they explore the sex before marriage?
because first of all, as a Christian, it's not part of the rules of God, the laws of God, that you are supposed to marry and then have sex. Sex is not to be used as a test for a good marriage or a bad marriage, because it's not, your marriage is not going to be based on just sex. You've seen people that have sex throughout their courtship, they get married and the man still goes out and have sex with other people. So if that is what you're using to, to kind of define your marriage, it's not going to work. And once the man, so many times, once you start having sex with the man it will never see a reason to even want to settle down. Like, what else do I need? I'm with you all of the time. And I've seen a lot of men do that. Oh, we are together. We spend most of the time together. You satisfy me in every way. And from what is marriage? We don't have to do that. We don't have to go into that. We already have everything. You're giving me everything I need. I'm giving you everything I need. But God's definition of marriage is way better and greater than that. You are being called together for a divine purpose.
Okay.
It's for a divine purpose. So that purpose is something that you must first of all have in mind. What we are being, the book of Amos 3:3 in my Bible says, can two work together unless they agree? First of all, you must know that you are in unity. Definition of unity is being in a state of being united or joined as a whole. When God said a man should leave a woman and join together as one, as one, that means you are half, we become one, to fulfill a divine purpose. To fulfill a divine purpose. If you come together, even while you are courting and you are together this guy's purpose is far too. No. I don't think we can work together. I don't think we can work together. This guy is just his mind is on so many things. His mind is on this, on so much. It's so materialistic. It's so this, it's so that. There is nothing changing about him, and it's so way away. And your heart is fulfilling God's purpose. You have a plan. God has given you a plan, and you try to even talk to him, and it doesn't have any inputs, because his mind is nowhere near where your goal is. You have two different goals. You cannot work together in that area. That's a sign for you that I'm not sure this guy can fulfill a divine purpose with me. I'm not sure this lady can fulfill a divine purpose for me. We are too different. I mean, people can have different personalities. Oh, I don't talk much. I'm introvert. My husband is extrovert. He talks so much, and you can always come up. That is different. But when it comes to divine purpose, this is where I'm going in life, and you are going in completely the opposite direction, and there is no way that we are working together. Please don't even start asking God, Father, I'm not sure this guy is the right one.
Yeah. So you're saying marriage is defined as two people coming together, being united so that they can fulfill this divine purpose. And I'm guessing this divine purpose is that which God has called you to do as a couple, right? And so if you're saying if one partner's divine purpose is not meshed with the other person's divine purpose, then that can cause disunity, right? I think about this term that is very popular in the Bible, that people have popularized, I think, unequally yoked.
Yeah.
And so my pastor the other day explained it in a way I've never heard it before, which I thought was so clear. So he was talking about two animals, the donkey versus the ox. So the ox would represent one partner, the donkey would represent the other partner. They're both on the same yoke, right? That is this tool that puts them both together.
Hold
them both together. And so the master of both these animals might be calling to them to come to him. The ox is cooperative, right, and compliant in nature. And so the ox would try to move towards its master when it's called. But the donkey is stubborn by nature, and so would hold back the ox because it refuses to move toward the master. And so the ox is held back. So there is that analogy shows you, okay, when you are unequally yoked, when you have one partner that's like the ox and the other partner that is like the donkey will keep holding back the ox.
Exactly. You can never fulfill that God's purpose for your life, because it's always gonna be, you're always gonna be stuck, and so many times, they end up in separation, divorce, and other things. If you have gone through this premarital counseling, all those things will have been highlighted. You will have seen so many things that, these are signs. I've been with this guy for 6 months, and I'm seeing that we are not equally yoked. And a lot of mistakes that women do is, I can change him. I'm just gonna pray it out. I'm a prayer warrior. I will pray that thing out of him. I will do this. I will do that. You're not going to, and they find out after praying, they get so tired. I'm like, oh Lord, what did I get myself into? Yeah, what did I get myself into? You saw this before. You saw this pit before you go. You walk.
But you were trying to marry the potential. You said, I see the potential.
You thought you can be God and you can change that mind by praying it and by doing this. No, man, no, you can't. So that is one of the reasons that we're having all these divorces going on, because I thought I could change him. I thought I could do this. No, you knew that this man is a womanizer. That is nothing that he cannot sleep with. But at the same time, you thought you could manage it. And then you walk right into marriage and you expect him to just stop like that. And this guy does not have anything, any future whatsoever, no plan, nothing. But you thought you can fix everything. No, fix it before you get into marriage. Correct. If you can fix anything, fix it before you get into marriage.
And I just want to mention it goes both ways. I think I have the tendency to always say, oh yes, the man's a womanizer, but the women can do the same. And you have a serious man who wants to, buckle down but can't because she's not settled. All right, so I want to move on to our next question. What are topics that need to be discussed between partners during the premarital season?
Sex, finances, and that's why, like you said earlier, that they want to explore,
right?
So how do you? So the only thing you think about, okay, let's get it on before we know we can.
Right. So how do you have that talk? How do you have that talk about sex without actually exploring it?
The most important thing is, usually if you find the one that is right for you, I'm telling you, if God put you in line with your Boaz, I call it your Boaz, your flesh of flesh, your bone of bone, your future partner, sex is what is even God can, if there's anything, God can fix up. But there is nothing wrong with having, they have blood tests, they have this, they have that, and I don't really oppose to that. That's their business, whatever they want to do. But like wanting to experiment how we're going to feel in bed before we know we're going to have a good sex life, it's not what I encourage. You will always find that once you find purpose in your relationship, once you have a goal, you can talk about finance, you can talk about all these other areas that that we are going to face when we get married. I believe sex is just, even though people say sex, but I believe sex is just the simplest thing that can happen. Sex you can How will I? God can even work on your sex life. God, because before marriage, it's called fornication. If you don't do, if you say, I would rather obey God's law, God's commandment, that I can't fornicate before marriage. Because you honor God, your marriage, your sex life is going to be perfect. God is going to honor you in your marriage, your sex life. Even if you are struggling with anything sexual, God is going to fix it. That's one thing I've seen and I believe. Because you honor God's word, I say, stay away from fornication, which is sex before marriage.
So you're saying that it will benefit us more if we prioritized God, if we look to him and to his will and his plans, follow that plan because we love him, and he will fix basically other things will fall in line.
Yeah.
I think that the world, the society tends to prioritize sex. And what you're saying is that we need to prioritize God and God's plan for us, and everything else will fall in line.
Because you need to look at what am I, who am I? According to Romans 8:28, 29, you are created you are being called, you are being God, from whom God foreknew, a predestined to conform to the image of Christ. We are being called to be like Christ. We are being called to be. So that is what we need to focus on ourselves. Focus on me being like Christ. I'm not going into marry for someone to make me like Christ. We can complement. We complement each other. That's nothing wrong with that. But me on me, I want to be like Christ. I want to carry that the spirit of God. So everything that God says no to, I'm going to make sure that I also say no to those things. Because fornication is, you are sinning against your body, and your body is the temple of God. So that is already stated in the Bible, that when I fornicate, this is what happens. And apart from that, you open yourself to demonic forces, because once you obey the word of God, you open your door to demons to infiltrate. So to now come into that relationship and begin to work on things that you're not supposed to. You already opened that door. So, but if you obey the word of God, say, I will not do this until we are married. And when you come across a godly man as well, he's going to tell you the same thing. It's on both sides. Man, I've seen so many men that, we're going to stay till we get married. It's on both sides, our agreement. Right.
So the sex talk before marriage is basically, honey, we're going to hold on until afterwards, because we are prioritizing God and his plan for us. And then you have the finance talk. Then what other kind of talk or topic do you have before marriage?
You have social, you'll see that you'll be going out, you'll see how, social, how do we work together in our social lives? What are the things? You find out so many things. What are the likes? When you see that, okay, you like this thing and I don't like this thing, where do we compromise? Where do we compromise? It's not, okay, you don't do it, I can't do it. You don't, you have to complement one another. So where do we blend? Where do we say, and how do we raise? What kind of, talk about childbearing, what kind of, what do you like? Someone, I don't care about children. I don't even want to have children if it's not. And the woman will say, I do. I want to have children. So let's talk about that and make sure we are in agreement. You don't want to have children, or then they come to it. Yeah, well, if you like it, we can have children, but it's not like if you don't have children, I will hate you. It's not like if you can't have children, I would, disown you. But I just want to know that I'm doing what is right. And you don't base it on love. Oh, I love, because love is an action. It's not, it's not, you can't say, because I feel, you don't feel love, and then that's why people are saying, I don't feel love anymore, because it's not a feeling in the first place. So you're going into marriage because I feel love, I feel that love for him. So in other words, when you feel out of that love, you can divorce. So you don't go into it because it's an action. For God so loved the world, it gave. When that is an action, that is a giving. So when that love of God is in there, you give yourself to your husband. That's where submission comes in. I submit to my husband. My husband also, we work together. My husband gives himself to me as Christ gave himself to the church. They are my husband. So it's about giving. Love is about giving, not about feeling. And that's the mistake we do now with a lot of going into marriage, because I love him. Why do you want to marry? I love him. What do you understand about love? I love him. The worldly love that you come in and get out of. That's what they look at. What do you love? Something.
So their definition of love is really a strong like. I think that's what it is. And so when you really strongly like this person today, and then you don't feel that like tomorrow, you have been thinking all this time that, okay, liking is the same thing as love, and I'm in love, when really you're just in strong like. So when you're out of liking the person, you think you're out of love, and that's not necessarily what it is. So you're saying love is an action. It is helping them where they need something. It is being there for them. It's compromising some things. You mentioned submission to husband. Does the husband also submit to the wife?
Submit to one another.
Okay, and what does submission mean?
Submission, in other words, you first of all, and you recognize and you acknowledge, according to the word of God, that says the man is the head of the house. In the book of Ephesians, is the head of the house, is the priest of the house. So as the wife, you submit in the sense that you'll be in, I'm not saying 100%, but most of the time you'll be in agreement. There are some times that, okay, I'm not in agreement, but okay, because you said so, let's do it. Because you said so, let's do it. Because submission in the sense that if you obey God, you want to obey and your husband. You want to respect your husband. That's part of submission, respecting the husband, because not getting in the position that you are, getting into arguments and poking your husband in the face and telling him who is he and who is not, and fighting and telling him, especially with this feminism stuff going around, that women believe that no man can talk to me. I am a woman. No man can tell me what to do. This and that. That is what is destroying the whole world and causing so much confusion and divorces all over the place, because every woman wants to be. And I'm not saying you be all, and if you be all you want, and your husband is there to support you to be a successful woman, but when you look at the Bible and the book of Proverbs 31, it explains to you what a virtual woman is. This is the woman that God says, the way God says, serve your husband. Serve your husband. I know we are all working. That's why I say add values. We are all working. I'm still working on mine, on things, in different areas. Serve your husband. Some women think, being there to even cook, and for their husband it's just too much. It's just too much, and they just go into the freezer. There are frozen food, dinner food. Just get yourself what you need, and I'm not your slave. And they say that, and I'm not this, I'm not that, I'm not your slave. And you can they don't want to do laundry. For instance, they don't want to wash their husband's clothes. I'm not. He can take care of his own stuff. I'm not. That we are very rebellious.
I think we nitpick a lot of ways to serve. So we focus a lot on okay, I don't want to cook, or should I cook? Who should cook? Or who should do the laundry? Who did that? I think we nitpick that. I think at the heart of it all, what I hear you saying, is that we respect each other. In the marriage relationship, respect each other. Know what works for the other person and honor that as best as you can. And I think that is what service is. That is what love is. And that is what submission is honoring the person, who they are, what they can or can't do, and accommodate that to the best of your ability, bringing out the best in each other. Make it a harmonious experience where, because I love you so much and you love me, we're working together to uplift each. That's what it's about. So stop focusing on who cooking, who cleaning, who washing the dishes. It's a waste of time. When you love the person and you just want to respect them, you wash the dishes tonight because you know that they're tired. Or you cook today because you know that they cooked the past 2 weeks. That's all. That's all. And I feel like
Yes,
I
and
feel
they're
like
always
it becomes such a distraction, and I believe that is the way of the enemy to throw all these little details in to try to distract us and to cause us not to be united. So we're not focused on respecting each other. We're focused on what the word how the word submission makes us uncomfortable, because then that means I need to cook all the time. Listen, man,
and you know that.
respect.
Respect, and because that word also has been so many times misused, submission, and some men have taken advantage of that, and abused their wives, especially my own parent when I was growing up. It's something like I see, and I really don't want to. I know is wrong, because that's why you see a lot of domestic violence. Men hitting on their wife that you are supposed to be submissive to me. You are supposed to do whatever I say. You are supposed to do this. You are supposed to do that. And they make them do horrible things. And, make them do horrible things. I've seen my father coming home in the middle of the night, 2 a.m., from whatever, all over creation, and he just came and got back and wake my mom up. Where's my food? 2 a.m., 2 a.m., where's my food? If you are coming home from at that time of the night, I expect you to be filled. Wherever you're coming, you must have eaten.
Correct.
I mean, whatever, all your food is right there on the table. The food is right there on the table. So that when it comes, you know where to go to eat, But even if it's there, it's not going there. Get up, where's my food? So she gets up, get the food, get it out, give it down. And when he sit down, wash his hands to eat his food, because the African, they
Right. Eat with
wash
hands.
his hand with his food to eat his food. You're gonna wake him up with his hand still in that bowl of water, because he sleep up. He won't even touch the food. He falls asleep.
Wow.
After all that wahala, he falls asleep.
Wahala. I love it.
He falls asleep.
Right.
Not even touching that food. So that is an abuse. It's punishment. Just want to punish that woman, abuse that. It's not necessarily, you are not necessarily hungry. Just want to show your chauvinistic, manly power.
Just want to be authoritative. You don't want to respect.
That's all.
There we go.
So easy. So it's though they believe that that's part of submission. That's part of abusing the woman. That's part of submission. No, I mean, also we submit to one another. Oh, you are tired. Don't worry about it there. Sleep. I'll take it. That my husband does that for me. I am so grateful, so thankful to God for that. Because don't worry about it. Just sleep. I'll take this. I'll take the children. Oh, I'll go pick it up. Oh, if it cooks, don't worry. I'll cook today. Because some men, I'm telling you, we get back and 12 a.m. expect that they both go to work, and they get back. Maybe the husband will be. Sometimes the husband gets home earlier than the woman, than the wife. He gets home, he sits on the chair watching TV, waiting for the woman to come in the next 3 hours, and then expecting her to go into the kitchen, now cook, and then fix the food. So, there's nothing wrong with having home 3 hours. I know there's so much, he must be tired. Let me just fix something or order something for us to eat tonight. That is nothing wrong with that. It's working together. It's understanding each other, and it's complementing each other. And that is love. Action, doing for each other.
Correct.
That's where you find love. We're doing for each other because we love each other. It's not love of, oh, I don't love you anymore because you can't do this, because you used to do that. Now you can. No, you used to. I don't feel that for you anymore. I don't feel. And then the other thing is that when they start focusing on your appearance, when the man start focusing too much on your, I mean, that is, I don't think I love what I'm seeing anymore. I don't think I'm gonna, and start thinking in their mind that, when I married you, you were slim and that figure 8, now it's a little. So when you married to my body, you had that is you have affection for me, but there was no love, because love is doing. There's nothing wrong with this and that, trying to let's work out together, let's be in shape, let's be this, let's be that, as opposed to now you making that person, other person feel like, I don't think I love this, I don't love you anymore. Because do you know people get divorced over that?
I'm sure.
They do.
Because at the end of the day, it's showing lack of respect. It goes always back to that, where I'm not respected, I don't want to stay. I don't want to be in that space. If I'm putting on too much weight and you don't like the way that looks, then out of respect and out of love for me, you can say, hey, honey, let's go hit the gym together.
Let's
don't make it my task. Because you want me to look a certain way. Let's work out together, because then that can make me feel better, make me feel less attacked, and make me feel like, wow, look at you making the sacrifice along with me. I feel loved. I feel honored. I feel like you care. I feel respected. I feel submitted to. Love it.
That's right.
So for the singles, I want to talk about the singles a little bit. What are some universal non-negotiable when looking for the next serious relationship?
Prayer. You cannot negotiate that. You have to first of all take it before the Lord. I'm looking, I'm searching. Lord, I'm prepared, I'm ready. What should I focus on yourself and try to work on yourself? So not focus on the other party, but focus on yourself. That's one thing that you need to look at. And then in the Bible, in the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 8, it said, now to the single people and the widow, I say, this is fine if they remain. Now if you want to remain unmarried. But if you are looking for a relationship, if they can't exercise self-control, then it's saying they should get married. Then looking into instead of bonding with sexual desire. So look into who who is God highlighting, like preparing yourself for the right person, which is the first thing, and knowing that, make sure that you have that in the back of your mind, that anyone that is pressing for sex is not going to work. I'm first of all, is if you meet a person and the first thing they are pressing is for sex, and that is a sign that I'm not going to go that route. So
because their priorities are wrong.
It's just that's a red flag. So don't look into, don't even. And then a man that will not respect you. Like when I mean not respect, like sometimes I've seen a situation like a friend, someone that you are looking into marriage, not into getting into a relationship with. They visit maybe your parent-in-law or something, you visit your parents, not the in-law, they visit your parents, they come in and you see the way they talk, you see the disrespect. And it's also a red flag, because it's going to get worse when you get married. If it's not something that is going to be workable, I'm telling you, because it doesn't respect even your parents, it's not going to respect you.
What about the friends they keep? Does that matter?
The friends they keep matters, because that shows the influence on them. If it's they can bring a negative or positive influence on their decision. And some people think I have to keep this kind of friends to know how to manage my relationship. And those friends give them ungodly advices, suggestions, and how to. You have never been in a relationship, or they are probably frustrated friends that have been in and out of relationship, or never gotten married in their life, and they're trying to advise you on how to manage your own relationship or your own marriage. That is also a red flag, because you follow those directions or those advices, you're going to fail. You're going to fail.
But what if the person that you're interested in doesn't act like their friends? They don't have the same bad habit as their friends.
What if what?
So say I'm in a relationship and the guy, I don't like his friends, but he doesn't act like his friends. Is
Then
that
why?
still considered a red flag?
That is a saying. If you walk with dogs, very soon you will start eating, because I don't know about dogs here, but like in Africa,
Right.
dogs eat, they eat poop,
Yeah,
understand?
yeah,
So
yeah.
if you work with dogs, in a matter of time, you start eating the same thing they eat. So
Yeah.
I don't know how you can keep it. Say birds of the same feathers flock together. I don't know how you can keep friends that are so disorganized, so so sexually promiscuous,
Motivated.
where men are not, and you are in their midst, and you say I'm not, no, I'm not, I'm different from them, I'm not like them. It's just pretending. It's just pretending. It's just like I said, man, they can pretend till after marriage, and then you will say, "Oh, you will tell me, well, this is you saw me before I got married. You saw my friend. You saw you saw this, you saw that. Well, I didn't know you were like your friends. Well, you should have known. You should have known. Then now they'll make you look so stupid. Now you should have you should have known." And your friends were like, "What do you mean you didn't know?" That's why and any man that's not ready, willing to go into premarital counseling, that's another red flag. Oh, I don't need no counseling. I don't want to, I don't want to get in. And then you know about terrible mother-in-law. There are some terrible mother-in-law when you encounter that. Not that your marriage is already on the rock, because there are some. The Bible says a man should leave his family, leave your household, and go meet the woman and become one flesh. Start a new foundation. But the thing is that many men or many women, they carry their mothers along with them.
Woo.
They carry their mothers along with them. And when they are with their wife, they are seeing their mother. When they are having, they are in that place of intimacy, they are hearing their mother's voice.
Oh
Mother
God.
is this. It is true. The mother controls everything, because you have to report to her how your sex life is. You have to report to her what you eat and what you didn't eat. You have to report to her what the finances, who is in control, who is handling what, and she's going to tell you exactly what you need to do, and that's what you do. How you handle your family, how you handle your wife. Everything comes directly from your mother. You become that figurehead. There are some men like that. If you see that, run. I'm telling you, I'm not in the business of breaking relationship, but I know there are some terrible mother-in-law that they have made that vow that they will tell you that my son is married to me first.
Yee.
He's mine first. When you see a woman saying he is mine first, he is mine, he's in a big competition with you. You can never enjoy that marriage. You can never enjoy that marriage. She comes in unannounced. You tell him, Mom, what can I, don't tell me what, don't tell me where, I can do whatever I want to do. This is my son's house. And they don't believe that you both are working together as a team. They come in with that mentality that this my son is the one paying the bill, is the one doing this. Without him, you will not be here. They come into competition with you. And so when you go before marriage, you see those kind of mother-in-laws, those kind of in-laws, run. And sometimes it will be the father. It could be run. He said, leave everything. The Bible said, leave everything. Don't take your mother. Don't take your husband. Your father. Don't take whatever you see them do, all the wrongs you see them do. It's for you to correct your own marriage, not to carry those junks into your marriage. Oh, my father beats my mom all the time, so I'm going to beat my own wife. You get rid of that. You get delivered. You get healed. You get cleansed from that before you go into marriage. Whatever is in your life that can destroy, or you've seen destroy your parents, or your parents. Oh, my parents were divorced because my mom can't take no nonsense. My dad says one, my mom says 10. So you go into a marriage, you want to say 10 to your husband when he says one. No, it's not going to last. You're going to have to learn from your parents' mistakes and make sure that you're not carrying those into your own marriage. Whatever they did that those are red flags. No. no, no, mom, you're not, no, no, no. I'm not taking my issues to my parents when anything happens. First of all, I'm taking it to God because He put this marriage together. And only God can fix anything that's going on. My husband and I, we don't take things out. We deal with it. And then by the time we take it to God, by the time we, and then when you want to, one of the things that's so funny, if you start praying with someone that you want to get married to, and you learn how to pray together with that person. If it's the type that's not interested in prayers, if it's the type that's not interested in, shall we pray? What is it? I thought we prayed yesterday. That was yesterday. I thought, do we have to pray every time over everything? We don't have to do that. We don't, and you start kind of, you see those red flags that it's not the type that it's just going to be a matter of time. Once you get married, it's going to be disinterested in prayers. It's going to be the one that will say, well, I don't want to go to church. You can go. I'm not going nowhere today. You can't.
Or because I've heard of a situation where the one partner in the relationship was all interested in Christianity because the person they were interested in was interested in Christianity. So they would go to church, they would do the prayer, everything. And as soon as they marry, he ain't going to church.
Now going, because they did that to get you.
So that is why premarital is necessary.
That is why premarital counseling is going to bring out all those things. And when you go into premarital, look for a Christian counseling. Christian counselor, spirit-filled Christian counselor. I'm telling you, don't go to the one that we just talk about. Okay, about finances. Okay, well, you are the man of the house. You provide, the woman. Okay, we talk about finances. We talk about sex. We talk about childbearing. But much more than that. Go deep into issues, characters, things that are deeply rooted in the lives of this guy or this person.
Woman.
Because some of these children grow up with issues in their lives. Some ladies grow up with the spirit of rejection. They have been battling with rejection all their lives, and that spirit is in them, and the spirit is attacking so many things in their lives. But this is not something that you can really see written on their forehead, rejection. But by the time you go into counseling, you start seeing those symptoms. You start seeing those symptoms, and by the time they write out, you give them that fact sheet, and they write out everything about their life, they're growing up, what are the things that affect them in their formative lives, and all that. You sit down and look through it, and when you pray, you start picking those issues, and this person is dealing with rejection. If we don't deal with this and it goes into the marriage, she's not going to enjoy this marriage. And the husband, what is, how can I don't know what is going on. I don't know what is it. They can't understand. And after a while they say, we're not compatible, so we want to get a divorce.
Right.
That's not compatible, we want to get a divorce. But it's not because you're not, it's because of the deep-rooted issues in your life that you have not dealt with. Some of them were abused when they were child, and they carried that spirit with them still heavily in them. Like I said the other day, they would compartmentalize it in a different room in their mind and shut it there. And like, I'm not going there. But every other thing is fine. We get married, they don't discuss it with nobody. It's a chapter we don't want to open. But but let me tell you, when marriage is an institution, it's a school. You're going to learn so many things, and after a while, you can't pretend anymore. You're going to just so all those hidden things are going to come out, and it's going to be trouble. So deal with everything that you can deal with before you get married. Deal with everything you can deal with.
Makes sense.
Fight a good fight of faith before you go into that marriage. Learn your husband, talk to him about where did you grow up? What are your parents like? What happened when you were growing up? What is any sign of anything that we need to talk about this and that. There are so many tests you can give, so many ways you can test him. Test his patience, test so many things about him that to let you know what stuff is this guy made of. What stuff is this guy made of?
And that's all good to do, but like you said, you need a third party in this. You need the counselor, and in your words, a Christian counselor that will help with this process to bring up some things that, yeah. So what I'm hearing a lot when it comes to pursuing and having a serious, good relationship, successful relationship is prayer first. Focusing on the self, right?
Yes.
Seeing how you don't change who you are, but you can change parts of your behavior and attitude and your perspective, outlook, all that jazz, to help you be better. And do the premarital because you need someone to help you just uncover what's in you and uncover what's in your partner, so that both of you can make that decision as to whether you want to continue the rest of your lives dealing with this particular challenge, if you're able to, if you're willing to, right? And I love that we have defined submission as simply respect. That's really what it is, right? And so I feel like the world can stop running away from the word submission and from the word serve and service now, when we just understand it simply means you are honoring the person, you are loving them, you are, and by love we mean we are acting, we are doing action things, right? So it's not just I love you and call it a day. It is wash the dishes tonight because when honey comes home, he gonna be tired, or when she comes home, she gonna be tired. Yeah, so I think that makes it more doable, more feasible for us, more palatable, I think, to the feminist, I guess you would say, or even the non-feminist who's just been wondering, okay, how do I submit? It sounds so weird. But without watering down the Bible, it's just submission means respect. And I definitely am cool with that. I like that. So thank you, Dr. Sade. You came through with a lot of wisdom. I appreciate everything. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. Have a good rest of the day.
Stay blessed.
Yes, you too. Thank you, Dr. Sade. Bye.
All righty.